Hey there, Tone Chasers. It's Brian from the Chasing Tone podcast. Today we have a very special episode back with Travis Feaster here for 15, 20 minutes or so. He just kind of give us an update on what he's been doing, the stuff he's been using, a new pedal coming out we talk about from JHS and Boss. So some cool stuff there. And so let's dive right into that right now. So today we have Travis Feaster back with us. Travis, if you don't remember, was part of the Chasing Tone podcast for years and years and years and years and years.
At least two, right?
At least two of those. Multi-years.
How am I sounding? Am I coming in hot? Am I coming in? I think that's CB talk.
That's a big 10-4.
Well, I feel like I should be on a CB or something. I'm currently driving, so if you hear you may have to hear some bleeps because I'm a road rager.
No, that's perfect. It sounds like you're getting ready to turn.
Oh, can you hear my turn signal? I'm sorry. Here, I just won't use a turn signal. How's that?
No, do it. I've got a funky beat in my mind. I'm playing over that turn signal.
Oh man, I'm using the headphone thing. Should I just use a regular phone? Maybe, I don't know.
No, you're good.
Okay,
I like the.
All right.
I like the realism.
Hey, I love to hear percussion. I'm gonna turn the beat around.
Now all you gotta do is spit some dope rhymes. You know?
That's above my pay grade.
No dope rhyming will be had in this podcast.
So, dude, I'm going to take over like I always do. Tell me about The Doctor. Is it out yet? It's not out yet, right?
It is out, yes, as of September 1st. So it's been out a week.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, you just haven't heard anything about it because it sucks.
Yeah, right. I played that thing. I've been asking you for one for 2 years. I love that
it's
thing.
like it's basically like a revised version of what started out as a Skyline, then became the Wheelhouse. Now it's the Doctor.
Nice.
So
the Sky House Doctor. Dr.
The Sky House Doctor. Dr. Skyhouse.
That sounds
That's
like
exactly
a James
right.
Bond thing.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm riffing, bro. I'm riffing.
So music-wise, I see you've been playing out quite a bit. What you been gigging with?
Well, I started. You mean gear-wise or music-wise?
Both.
Okay, music-wise, as I started this '90s rock kind of tribute band with Max Jeffrey. From Chasing Tone fame. And
he did this for multiple years as well. Yeah.
But for some reason, I guess '90s is the new '80s in the bar music world because it caught traction, and man, we just I haven't even had to call for a gig lately because people are calling us, so you can't really complain. But go ahead.
So did you stop? You stopped with the Luke Bryan covers then?
I did. Ever since Kermit the Frog's voice got fired, we've been using that guy. So for the Luke Bryan tribute.
Why? I don't know why you wouldn't.
I know. Why wouldn't you? Dude, I got another one. Okay, so you ready? It's
right.
Yether? That's how I answer the phone now. Somebody calls, you say Yether? That's yes, sir, only. That's my hillbilly version. Yether?
That's because you've been living here in Martinsville, Indiana, way too long.
I know. I finished second in the spitting contest down on the square.
Well, who came in first? Was it one of my relatives?
It was, believe it or not, it was Roy Westernhausen Smithton.
That's a blast from the past.
I know. But no, the 90s rock thing is cool because it's tones that I never dreamed that I would use, being like, a blues guy or, classic rock kind of thing. It's like I never really had to dive into the world of preamp gain,
You went totally away from Strats too, right? For this
band, yeah. I mean, I do need my gear shifter, like when we do some songs, if you got to do obligatory feedback thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I've got an Ibanez RG350 with a floating Floyd Rose. You're welcome to use that anytime you want.
bro, I only use the prestige models. but but no, man, Les Pauls just are really okay. So, God, it's gonna sound like a commercial, and I swear I always preach about this guy's stuff every time I'm on here, but it's the truth, man. I could never bond with a humbucker because there's this open, airy quality to a single coil, especially on that neck position, that I've always fallen in love with, that I just couldn't get with a humbucker. So
yeah, you lose it with the humbucker.
You really do. And then like I said, it's going to sound like a dang commercial, and I apologize, but I called David at Tonal Concepts, and I was like, man, is there any way you can fix that? And of course, he starts talking his ninja talk. And, and I'm like, yes, Sensei, make them. I will pay. So I bought these pickups off him, and it's like, it's everything I ever wanted out of a humbucker. It's like the neck, because I love the humbucker in the bridge position because it compresses and it's good, all the good things you love about it. But the neck pickup is what I always had problems with, and he just fixed it. It's like, it's open, it's airy. When you back the volume off, it can get like some cleanish R&B tones. I mean, It's just cool. So I ordered 3 more.
Well, you know what you could do is just get a double neck, because
right.
Yeah, that's a style. So a double neck with a Les Paul and a Strat. Boom.
Yeah, that's definitely me too. But
I don't know why you wouldn't.
Yeah, absolutely. Why wouldn't I? But and then I've been doing it's not really a blues thing. It's definitely blues based, but a guy named Doug Henthorn that I've been playing with for a while, and if there's any Joe Bonamassa fans listening, you've probably heard.
Yeah, you know who Doug is.
Yeah, or if you don't know who he is, you've at least heard him. He was on tour with him for a while, and he sang on the last 3 records I think he's done. So, but I mean, he's much more than that. He's an unbelievable songwriter, great singer, and a heck of a guitar player. So we've just kind of, found a formula that's kind of working with us, and we're actually getting ready to go to, somebody just honked at me in a Wal-Mart parking lot. I kind of cut somebody off. Look, that's my fault. I'm sorry. Okay. I got a fist shaking at me with
maybe they don't see the American flag sticking out of the back of your truck.
Right. But I mean, we got some things going. I mean, we're working on a record, and which would be a lot of fun. And then we got a little mini tour coming up for a week in November. We're heading out to Jersey, out to the Jersey Shore, bruh.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it should be. I mean, it's cool, man. It's kept me in it, and it's kept me creative, and making me still want to become a better guitar player. So to me, that's pretty invaluable.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so back to the touring life for a week or so, huh?
Yeah, and I can handle it for about a week. Anymore, I don't know. Like, there's no part of me that desires to go back on the road for 4 weeks or 6 weeks.
And there's a lot of people who really would love a shot at that lifestyle,
right? And
and I think it's for some people, but don't. We've talked about this before. That it's kind of like once you start getting a family and stuff, you're kind of choosing. Do I want to go on the road, or do I want to see my kids and wife?
Right. And it's one of those things too. You don't really know, how you're going to like that life until you actually live it. I know a lot of guys who, like, for instance, the drummer I was with on tour, he would live on the road. He loved that lifestyle, and he knows that because he's lived it. And I know because I've lived it that's not a lifestyle I want to lead,
Right.
And I mean, we were a pretty straight band. It wasn't exactly sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It was show up, sound check, go back to the van, play, and then go back to the hotel, So it's maybe if it was sex, drugs, and rock and roll, I never would have left. but no, I don't know. So to go out for a week is cool because the shows are better now. You know, I hate to say it this way, but the money's a little better now. You know, but and there's no record label to pay anymore. There's no booking agents. There's no stress. It's just let's just show up and play music.
Yeah, that must be nice.
Yeah, and you know, it's one of those things like we booked a couple gigs that pay for it, and anything else, you know, is icing on the cake. But it's like we don't care if we make money because we're gonna go play music, and you know, just have fun, man. Kind of like go back to being kids.
Right. Now, will they give you like a back line, or are you bringing your own amps, or?
I'm bringing my own stuff. I mean, they probably would do a back line, but I don't want to mess with it. The last time I flew in and had a back line, we showed up and there was a Roland, what are they called? JC 120.
Mm-hmm.
There was one of
like
those.
The jazz chorus?
Yeah. Which was okay, you know. But then there was a Fender Ultimate Chorus with a blown speaker. True story. True story. But I don't know if you remember this, but you gave me a prototype. It was for the Plexi Drive Deluxe, and it only had 1 foot switch. It was just the Plexi Drive side of it. And through that Ultimate Chorus with a blown speaker, I got the most mammoth fuzz tone you could possibly imagine.
Oh, I bet, especially the blown speaker.
Absolutely.
I mean,
It was
fuzz heaven there.
It was fantastic.
So what you're saying is we need to make a pedal with the Plexi Drive into a blown speaker. Right?
It would probably come in sales just under the Leviathan.
So we'd sell tens of them over the course of 3 or 4 years.
Well, the hipsters would say it's the best thing ever. But oh man, so funny.
Speaking of crazy things, have you seen the JHS pedal that just dropped today?
I have.
September 8th.
Yeah, I woke up to that, and man, I don't. Okay, so here's my thoughts. You know, I love Josh. Josh has always been really, really good to me. You know, and we had a lot of fun hanging out at Sweetwater every time. So I'm super happy for him because that guy has been the biggest Boss pedals fan I've ever known. You know what I mean? And it's it's one of those surprising things to where, you know, a boutique guy is, you know, always preaching Boss. So I don't think it's one of these things to where it was like, you know, oh yeah, I'm presented with this opportunity. I'm not really into it, but I'm going to do it because it's going to make money and look cool. I think it is one of those things where he's kind of a, you know, and I don't mean this negative, but kind of a fanboy, you know, of Boss. So to him, he's probably like, you know, yeah, man, this is cool. So I'm pumped for him for that. I don't, if I'm being completely honest, I don't know, I mean, what Boss plans to get out of it. Because if they raise their price point to something like that, will people buy? You know, I don't know. That's just,
right.
But keep in mind, I haven't been in the industry for a few years, so I really don't know what I'm talking about, you know?
It's weird. I mean, it's cool on one end because, I mean, I could see it reaching people that may not have ever heard of higher end gear.
Right.
But the other side of it is weird to me. And I get it, like Josh, like this would be like me hanging out with George Lynch for like a week or something, right? It'd be
well,
like,
I remember
that, like that's how cool it'd be. But,
right.
I mean, it's like in a way, it's kind of like taking your fanciest, you know, can't get it anywhere beer, you know, they make them, you know,
right.
Pints like once a day,
right?
And then having Budweiser distribute that, you know,
right? And
I mean, it just I don't know. It seems like I've thought about like, would I do that? I don't know.
Well,
man.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I mean, you can bleep out the company name if you need be, but I can tell you
these are all your opinions. These are not necessarily my opinions.
This part is a fact. You were approached by a company to make wah-wah pedals with, and you decided not to do it.
Yes.
You know, I won't say the company name because I don't know if you want that out there or not. But
let's not name names. But,
okay, but yeah, you were approached by a company to do a wah-wah pedal, and you basically said, I really appreciate that. I'm honored that you would, put me up there with what you want to do, and the prestige of your product and everything. But if I do a wah pedal, I want to do it on my own. So
Right.
I can tell you just from that chances are you wouldn't have done it. Now, does that make you better or a worse person? I mean, who knows? Whatever. But I can tell you that you wouldn't have done it.
I don't think so. But I think it's more of I don't. Again, I kind of take it back to like the craft beer thing. Like to me, I would feel like we would lose an edge of some sort. Like we would lose part of our identity of some sort if we made a pedal with a big, huge manufacturer like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I do.
It doesn't feel authentic to me. You know what I mean? Not that it's bad. I mean, and I get, I totally, like you said, I totally get why Josh from JHS would do that. I mean, he's a huge fan of Boss, and he's talked about that for years, about how big of a fan
Right.
he is.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's nothing new. That's nothing that I think is, made up or anything. So I can respect that, by the way, dude, there is a Red's Apple Ale beer truck slanging booze outside of Walmart right now. That's fantastic.
You got to make money somehow.
I know.
Are you in Martinsville by chance, Indiana?
No way, dude. They don't have Red's Apple Ale. They're not that classy. I'm in Plainfield, Indiana right now. But I like how I had to say Indiana, like that wasn't obvious. But
well, I mean, there's people all over the world listening to this. I'm sure there's some people that aren't really even sure where Indiana is. So,
oh yeah.
So we should explain this. Indiana is in the middle of the USA, and it's kind of like the armpit of America in a way.
But not
because there's nothing
not like right guard armpit, like more like brute, like it's the essence of man. It's the essence of America.
Yeah.
Although I will say I had some friends come over from England one time, and they've been to Las Vegas, they've been to New York, they've been everywhere, and they were like, no, Indiana, this is real America.
Really?
Yeah,
the heartland.
They were like, this is real America. And then I took them to shoot guns.
Yeah, you're in Indiana. Yeah, you're in the Midwest here.
Yeah. And then I said, have you ever tried bacon? But so
have you ever tried bacon on a burger?
Right.
Wrapped in bacon. Cooked in bacon grease.
So one of my buddies, his name is Brian Yard, and he is one of the most incredible drummers I've ever shared a stage with. And he's had a really interesting life. He's lived in Barbados, and then he moved to London for a while, and then Amsterdam. And then he fell in love with a girl in Amsterdam who was from Indiana. So he moves back to Indiana. Anyway, he just became an American citizen last week, which is awesome and means he probably knows more about our country than we do. But
right.
So I literally called him up. I said, hey, man, I'm going to be there in a half hour. I got an AR-15. I got a bag full of bacon jerky, because that's a thing now, and we're going to go eat some hamburgers. Let's go do this thing. But
and after that, we'll stop by and get some cholesterol medicine.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, no, it's America. You got to pay for that. So we'll get some.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll get some free medication.
That's $300 a bottle for that stuff.
Yeah, but if you're coming down off of an opioid addiction, then hey, that withdrawal medicine, well, that's free. Whatever. Don't get me going.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah. I blame Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy Roosevelt.
I don't know. It's just the first president came to my mind, and it seems like it's hip to blame whatever president's in office anymore. So
well, you can't blame Obama anymore.
I know.
Blame him.
I know. Well, people still do, but whatever. But yeah, man, it's musically it is cool because I get to still use all the cool stuff that I like, but I also get to use the 90s rock thing, which is preamp game, man.
Mm-hmm. Are you writing anything anymore?
I'm always writing. Most of it sucks, but I am always writing.
Are you using impulse responses, or are you micing amps now?
What's that even
when you
mean?
Impulse responses?
Is that like
So-
amplitude?
That's similar to amplitude or two notes. Use impulse responses. Fractal uses them. I mean, there's a bunch. So you load it up into like Logic or
Oh, okay.
some sort of DAW, right? And
Yeah.
it's the sound of your amp. It's like an amp emulator, but it's actually taken from the mic'd sound of your amp.
A lot of time that I thought that was a medical thing, but no. But man, I'm old school. I have a Les Paul Jr. copy that sits on my couch, and most of the time I pick that up and I hit record on the memo of my iPhone, and that's pretty much how I write. I know it's ridiculous, and then every now and again I will, go into a DAW or whatever, but I don't know, man. I'm just old school.
So you're not actually like recording, final product songs through Logic or whatever, right? Pro Tools.
No, we did do one. We did it's actually a pretty hip cover of Voodoo Child by Hendrix, and it's a lot of people think, oh great, that's what the world needs is another version of Voodoo Child, but it sounds absolutely nothing like the original. We could have just written new words, but then it's not cool. It's not hip. But so anyway, we just mic'd everything up. I'm just still a fan of that. I like to feel the air moving. I like to be in the same room as my amp. I'm an old man.
No impulse responses for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Impulse response. That when I got to restart my pacemaker.
I don't think it's the same thing.
Uh-oh. Hey, my boss just pulled up right next to me. This will be funny. What's up, man? Yes. Hey, I'm on a podcast. You want to say something? Hey, podcast. He said, hey, podcast.
Podcast says hello.
Podcast says hello. But we're trying to figure out where to go for lunch. Dickie's is fine. We're here. Get some barbecue. Perfect. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. Good barbecue always sounds great.
Absolutely. It is America.
Wrapped in bacon.
Oh, so dude, I am heading to Florida this weekend.
No.
Probably not the smartest thing I've ever done.
Okay, so there's a hurricane this weekend in Florida. Why are
the biggest one ever recorded in the Atlantic?
Yeah. So that makes sense. I got an idea.
Yeah. Oh,
let's head to the Keys. Key West.
Dude, well, it ain't the Keys, it's the Panhandle, so we'll be fine.
Oh, okay. Well, you'll be fine. Yeah.
But it's still fun to say. I'm going to Florida. And it's like, dude, have you heard the new one? Hurricane Irma? Irmagerd?
Yeah, I did see that.
That's terrible.
That is terrible.
Oh. Well, hey, man, I should probably get off
No,
here.
I appreciate you coming on the podcast and giving us an update of what's going on.
Well, yeah, I'll do it. Man, I love it. And now that it's easy to do over the phone like this, heck, dude, I'll do it anytime. Just let me know.
Just not when you're sitting on the toilet. That's all I ask.
You'll never know.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right. Thanks, dude.
Bye.
Bye.
And that, of course, was Travis Feaster joining us back again here on the Chasing Tone podcast for a quick update. I know we've had several of the listeners have emailed me asking when Travis is going to be back on, and there you go. He's back on for this episode anyways. So hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got a little bit out of it. We did touch on the new thing that JHS is doing, which is pretty cool. It's brand. I really haven't seen too many other brands do anything like that at all. Especially with Boss. I do know that I think it was MXR, maybe that did some stuff like that with some quote unquote boutique brands a year or two ago. So looking forward to seeing how that goes with Josh and what's the pedal called? It's a cross between the Blues Driver and the Angry Charlie. I think it's called the Angry Driver or something like that. So it should be really cool. Make sure you check that out. If you have any comments or questions, please email me at podcast@wamplerpedals.com. Hope you all have a great week, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks for listening.